Right, good afternoon from me. Whenever you're watching this, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it may be. Welcome to another YouTube video. Today we will be training pull at JP's gym. I've just had a little tour around the place from JP himself. Now this isn't trained by JP, the one that's full of gear, weighs 140 kg at 5'6". That's another JP. This is a slightly more downsized JP from Scotland. This is the Coatbridge area, so it's about half an hour from me. Easy enough to get here. Really good gym. It's filled of Nautilus kit, old school Cybex, new school Cybex. They've just got a lot of Strive stuff in. You'll see that, the kind of low row that I do, the low to mid row, really nice. I've been told good things about that. We've got stiff legs today. I have now reached the 200 kg mark, which is cool. Never done that before in my entire life. That was a massive goal of mine, but now we continue pressing onwards. Finn was like, do not be satisfied with that. Of course I'm not going to be, and just get straight cracking on with chasing down to a 25 plates. So we'll see how things move today. I got 204.3 last week, so I'm going to try aim for 4 to 5. Just depends how different this bar, these plates are, because I'm so used to just doing it in the exact same one in my usual gym. But quite excited for this outing to a different gym today. I feel like a little kid in a sweet shop, fat one. So really excited, but yeah, ready to crack on with it. Going to show you some hard training, as always. Keep it relatively raw, but then also kind of explain things to you, show you how to get the most out of stuff like this, a single arm lat pull down. With back, you want a balance of lifting some really heavy shit and doing it with a lot of aggression, and still being really kind of accurate with stuff like your lat work to get a really good internal feel through it. So yeah, let's crack on into it. Hope you enjoy. Let us know how you like these style of videos. This versus like the full day of eating type stuff. I think it's good to have a balance of both, but let's get into it. Ready to get a cold shot of me, you ready? Single arm lat biceps pull down. This is sweet, this is nice, really smooth. As you can see, there's a little block here to put that underneath my leg, because my legs aren't big enough. It'll come in time, but they're still pretty small. So to fill that out and make sure that I'm nice and stable and locked into the machine, putting that there to make that a little bit tighter. Same thing goes with like a seated hamstring curl, making sure that I put something so that my legs are really, really tight into the pad. But yeah, with this, queuing wise and what I'm thinking of doing, I'll whack this on a little bit less weight. Pretty much, instead of pulling back towards me like this, creating a lot of elbow flexion, getting a lot of bicep, I'm thinking of dragging down in front of me. So I'm thinking about this part of my hands here, like the kind of little soft part, the outside of your palm. Thinking about dragging that down to the kind of cable stack. So think about keeping the hand and the elbow in front of the body, pulling down until I'm in line with my body, my arm here, in line with the body. If you pull too far back, you're not going to be getting any lat anymore. So thinking about keeping myself braced, don't let your shoulder lift up and overextend. You want to think about keeping the shoulder in place. Get a full stretch, don't come up to here and come back down. Get a full stretch all the way, but keep the shoulder where it is. Get a nice big deep stretch on your lat, and then boom, you're down. Elbow nice and close to the body, and crack on from there. So yeah, that's the first movement. Get my lats nice and warm for going into the stiff leg, and then sending it from there. Stiff leg deadlift time. With something like this, if I wasn't to get really mentally aroused, to get quite aggressive with it, I'm not pulling much more than 180. I'm going to take 200 today and make it move. If you're going into a deadlift set and you're not scared, you're not training hard enough. And it's the same with a squat, with a leg press, even with some with the legs. Yeah! Oh! Quite heavy that. I knew when I pulled 180 that it was going to be heavy as shit. Like with a different bar, usually I do it with rubber plates. There's like a teeny bit of bounce in the bottom position. Not that I bounce it, like I'll still dead stop it. but it makes it a little less harsh. That felt extremely heavy, but it still moved for 3, and I'm still happy about that. 4th rep, it should be there for next time. If I'm back in my sort of usual settings, I've got no doubts that will happen. But yeah, as you see, like, I have like an exact routine every time I do stiff legs, and it's not just chat to Evan or chat to who's around me and get into it. Get my music on, get emotional, get fucking aggressive. I'm stood at the back of the room just staring at the bar, thinking there's nothing on that. That's easy. But then I'm getting to it, I realise I actually really need to get as tight as possible here, that this is going to move. Literally bracing as if I'm about to get hit by a truck at like 70 miles an hour. Get as tight as you can and fucking rip it. I get asked by someone the other day, and no offence to them because they're probably just wanting to learn and stuff, but like, is this to bias the erectors or the hamstrings or the glutes? It's like, man, I don't care. Pull some heavy weight, get stronger at it, and you get bigger, you get better back. If you're not deadlifting, if you're not hinging, this goes to a lot of people out there, by the way, a lot of the younger generation who don't do some form of deadlift because they think, oh, it hurts my back. Deal with it. If it's not horrific and you're like genuinely crippled for like weeks, do it. Everyone's back gets sore after a deadlift. For 2-3 days, I'll be walking like I've shit myself after that. It's bad, yes, but you're gonna grow. There's a reason my back has got a lot denser, and if someone isn't doing some form of deadlift, some form of hinge, whether that be an RDL, stiff leg, or a conventional deadlift, I'd say mine's kind of more conventional, then you can tell through when they turn around on stage and their back is shallow as fuck. So yeah, you can tell I'm passionate about it because I'm swearing and I'm getting quite angry. But yeah, train harder, train with some aggression, rip some weight, and stop being a pussy. Stimulus there, a lot of hypertrophy in that 3 repper. No back off, no nothing, just 3 repper and that's it. Josh C _ powerlift. I would find it enjoyable if you could actually just like whack on as much weight as you could every time you trained and just powerlift and do squat, bench and deadlift. All you RPE 6 and 7 users, you pussies. Yeah, pussy. Strive equipment, which is the old version of Prime, you can adjust the resistance profile. So, I've got it on setting 5, which I believe, let me just check that I'm not talking out my ass. Set number 3, maximum tension at the beginning, yes, and then 5's halfway from there. So, right now, I'm playing about with it because I've never used it before, but I'm going to load it in either full lengthen position or lengthen to slight mid, because realistically, your back, you're going to be stronger down here, and then you're going to get weaker as you come back. So if you're loading this in the mid to shorten position, it's dead easy when you're getting the stretch, which is again where you're going to get a lot of the stimulus, and then it's just going to get unbelievably hard here, and you're going to die out so quickly. So if you've got kind of access, that's the word I'm looking for, to this equipment, for most movements I'd definitely be looking to like kind of use that lengthened to mid position-ish. Depends on the movement because you've got certain things that are little anomalies, but for the most part, lengthened to mid and go for there. I think I might have fucked up some shit in my back doing that, can't I? Doesn't matter because I'm not a pussy. So even that, which is lengthened to mid, gets really heavy in the short. It's going to change it back to fully being the hardest down here, then dropping off as I come back. See how it feels. Feels better. Probably work at that from the top set though, still quite heavy. Oh! What a banger. Goal here is mid to upper back. So no lats. You don't want to keep your elbows close into your body. You want to be letting them come out kind of naturally. You don't need to force them out here. If you're doing that, you're most likely not going to get much movement of the scapula, so your shoulder blades. You want to physically let them move forwards in front of your body. Unlike a lat bias row, where you want to keep it exactly where it is, you want to let it come out in front of you, pull as far back as possible. So getting as much scapula movement as you can, while making sure that you're not chucking it about way too much. Lifting heavy weight, and you're good. Yeah, there's a lot of good kit in here. It'll be good to get back for an upper session. We might see if we can record that for YouTube. Oh, sorry, I just hit Evan put there. But yeah, he's supposedly, no, sorry. Chucking my headphones away as well. Ungrateful. But yeah, there's supposedly a lot of new kit coming in. They've got Cybex, hat squats, they've got a lot of Prime stuff, they've got a lot of Atlantis, literally everything. Some really like rare, unique bits of kits as well. Like he was saying to me, he was like, this will be the best gym in Scotland by a mile within the space of 6 months to a year. So that's really exciting. Anyone around this area, I've travelled half an hour to get here, half an hour each way, but more than worth it. Like this is a cool gym, even if you just train at the weekends when you get more time, it's sick. So yeah, pull ups. Sorry, I got off on a tangent and didn't actually explain them. Again, pull up, come down, pull up. Stop overcomplicating shit. Literally, yeah, nice big stretch. Make sure that you're not heaving your chest when you go up the way. Think about keeping it nice and proud. Contract, come back down nice and slowly. Get a big, deep stretch, lengthens, and pull up. Control it, and you're good. Here, but remember he made a reel on people like overthinking shit and not actually just pulling and actually putting effort into it. They're too busy thinking, let me connect with my lat. Really slowly doing it and literally getting like nothing out of it because they're using like half the weight that they should be. They're just making the concentric really slow. Yes, you don't want to be just doing this, but you also don't want to overdo it and be really slow. Slow on the way back and then pull hard. What I kind of say to my clients is put enough effort in to make the rep smooth as you pull it. So if you were to do your first rep and you put way too much effort into it, it is literally just going to be, and it's not going to be very accurate, you're not going to get much out of it. But if you go into say one of your last reps with the same amount of effort that you put into your first rep where you do that, if you're really close to failure and you just go, it's literally going to get nowhere. So make sure as you go throughout the set, as it gets harder, as it gets more painful, you do put more effort into pulling. By the last rep, you should be literally pulling with your life. You're trying to get it as far back as possible. It's not moving anywhere and you physically can't pull it back any harder. It should never be a case of, oh yeah, my lat's really burning, this is sore, I'm pulling it. The concentric, so when you pull back, it's still moving easy. Right, the set's done because it hurts. No. Do it until you actually feel. Make sure you apply it to your isolation movements and then just be powerful throughout your bigger compounds right from the get-go, and you'll grow. Again, that's kind of that topic about training with aggression and actually pulling hard instead of just overcomplicating things and trying to keep it really slow to feel the muscle, to isolate it perfectly. Never going to get a great deal out of that. Right, so like actual back work sort of is done now. I've got 3 sets of rear delts and 3 sets of abs. I'm shouting. Yeah, 3 sets of rear delts, 3 sets of abs. With the rear delts, mine need to be better, and so does my chest. So for pec deck and for my rear delt work, I've got the same intensifier, so it's a mile rep match set. You can try this if you want because it's actually quite nice. What you do, what the basis of it is you do a 10 to 15 repper, or 12 to 15, whatever you want to do it on a certain weight, say you get 12 reps. You then take your usual rest period, and they need to do that same weight and get it for the same amount of reps. However, sorry, Evan's got a wee fly in his hand. Get it to, hey, there we go. So yeah, you then do the same amount of weight for the same reps, but obviously you're not going to be able to do that. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that if you're actually training with full intensity. So let's say you get the same weight for 9 reps, you then rest for 10 seconds, go again, and you rest pause pretty much, like rinse and repeat that 10-second go again, 10-second go again, until you match your reps. On your third set you might get 7 reps, then rest, get 3 reps, rest, get 2 reps, and then go into some lengthened partials, and it will absolutely demolish the shit out of whatever you're doing. So gets you more effective reps, reps that are closer to failure, and we know that the reps that are closer to failure are the ones that actually count the most and grow the most muscles. So it increases the amount of effective reps, and it's a nice intensifier to use for areas that you need to bring up. Oh. I got 11 reps on the first set, 9 reps the next time round on the same weight, then dropped it, went straight back in pretty much, like, because by the time I pull that across, come over, get the other one, it's been about 10 seconds, then got another 2 reps to match that 11. As you can see, it's intense, it's hard, and that's the thing, like, people, when it comes to rear delts and stuff, they'll just whack through a quick and easy 3 sets, like, of course it's not going to grow. It's the same with your abs, it's the same with your calves, it's the same with your arms. You see so many people with shit arms, shit calves and everything because they just, oh, just go, free. Like, actually apply effort, no matter the exercise, no matter whether it's the start or the end of the session, apply yourself. You see me yap on about it all the time, but it's literally true. And the results that I've seen from it, it makes me want to fucking force people to do it because it yields the best results. So if you're being a pussy on your rear delts, stop being a pussy on your rear delts. How about that? If you want to get all technical with it, with the rear delts, if you look at the height difference between me and this here, slightly above my shoulder, I mean that it technically lines up a little bit better, but again, this is the stuff that people overthink without actually training them hard. It kind of comes up a little bit and then back down slightly because it's going to line up with your rear delt better, but it doesn't matter if you're on like a peg deck and it's just straight out, it's not going to be the end of the world. So a little bit of smart, goofy science shit for all you optimal guys out there as well, along with actually training hard. Another quick cue, final gap of rear delts. Don't think about pulling back the way, think about pushing forwards and outwards. So don't pull back, the goal is not to get the arm and elbow back behind you. Think about right now where I'm standing, there's corners of the wall in front of me. Think about driving your knuckle to the corners of the walls and think about dragging and scraping it out in front of you, pulling back, dragging it through the rear delt instead of simply just pulling back. Same thing goes with the rear delt fly. You'll see some of my clients do it. You just push it back the way where the elbow's behind them. No, drag out in front of you. Then when you get to 90 degrees, stop. That's where you're going to be your peak contraction. Then slowly come back down. My rear delts are really sore. More tips. Spinal extension and flexion. I'm going to put this in a lighter weight so I can show you. Oh. What you don't want to do when you're doing an ab crunch is simply just lower your body to the ground with no bending, flexing the spine. You want to physically curve over. Your initial cue should be back and down, crunch, and not just lower your body. So you don't want your head and your hands to be going out in front of you. You want to bring them down towards your kind of pelvis. What I always say to everyone, great cue, I've said this before, for people that follow me for a long time, suck your dick. Easy as that. Literally down here. Get as close down to that pelvic area as possible. And then when you come back up, make sure that you're extending the spine. Think about pushing your belly button out as far as possible, as far out from you as you can, and then come back down again. So, for people that don't know how to do an ab crunch, because I know that's quite common, because not a lot of people train them, but as I've mentioned before, and as I mentioned in the previous YouTube video that I've just voiced over today, you want to make sure that you are actually training your abs properly. People think that, oh, abs are made in the kitchen. No, they're not. Abs, like any other muscle group, are made in the gym and revealed in the kitchen. Same goes with your biceps and your triceps, everything. So train them if you want them to actually look good, because it's only the genetic, very small percentage of people that are going to have really good abs without training them. Right, session done, posing done. Hopefully I haven't got some good footage of it. Do a round pretty much after every session to keep my posing fitness in a good spot, and to make sure that I don't kind of lose how to actually hit each pose, like it stays kind of fluent. But yeah, literally no major complaints about the session. 200 kg, moved for 3, but it was hard. Like I could tell with the warm-ups, just with the metal plates, it felt a little bit off. Not that it's like the gym's fault, it's just I'm used to pulling off of like bumper plates. So yeah, that was difficult, but the rest of it was all really good. I am sat at 78-ish kg, so I think a kg since the last video that Evan recorded around 3 weeks ago, which is spot on. It's kind of where I want to be. Condition still holding decently, as you can see. Still got a lot of room to push up. My food has been upped as well since the video that you'll probably again see a little bit before this full day of eating. It was just under 4,000 calories at that point, and now it's at 4,250 or so. So 700 grams of carbs, 200 grams of protein, or 205 grams, and then 65 grams of fat, I think. So yeah, food's becoming a little bit of a chore, but that's always the situation with myself, because I don't like to eat a lot, and like I'm naturally very, very skinny. I started training at like 48 kg, but it is what it is. I need to get bigger, I need to put on more muscle, I need to put on more fat to allow myself to get more muscle, to train better, not train better, but be able to actually drive up performance more. So yeah, I need to suck it up and crack on with it pretty much. So yeah, in a good spot right now. More content as always, just coming at you frequently, these YouTube videos. So hopefully you're enjoying them. You can let us know what you think. But apart from that, I think that's all. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz as always. And yeah, see you in the next one.